I hold personal and professional views and opinions like anybody else, and outlook. I mean, you're entitled to having views and opinions and stuff, and an outlook and stuff as well. So through the journey, I've met so many people. I still meet a lot of people. I'm looking forward to meeting more people. And the question is this syndrome of being popular and this syndrome of imposter and stuff. It's an exciting set of lines I had before me. I've shared this about 2 years back also about a psychiatrist who's actually talked about the persona that we hold and stuff, and she's talking about this particular syndrome called the imposter syndrome, where people are actually faking it and people are actually presenting themselves differently at various places and stuff, mostly online and stuff and all that. And when you spend time with them and when you're around them and stuff, you figure out that it's all fake. Yeah. So, closely linked to the idea of perfectionism and hard work is a concept called imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is actually somewhere where there is this fear of being unmasked as a fraud, and because of the way the world sees competition, achievement, success, and everything, social media comparisons, media, TRP positioning, your image, at various forums and stuff. These factors basically become habits or um, they just want to achieve for the heck of it because they're trying to kind of present a persona and stuff, and it's mind you not a real image and stuff. So she says one of my clients was Rohan, who achieved so many honors for his work, but yes, at the end of it, when he shared with me, he was always at this thing of being exposed as a imposter because he had not done the smart work and hard work, but he'd earned those acclamations or stuff like that through whatever ways and means and stuff. Okay, and he says, I constantly fear this thing that the rug will be pulled from beneath my feet and everybody will know how empty I am with no real talent and stuff. He says there are a lot of people like me. I come across, they are CEOs in companies or they are personalities you meet everywhere. They give you a good impression and stuff, but the point is there is no evidence of hard work or talent, and that is called imposter syndrome. There is a fear also that they hold of being, fake and empty with no substance and stuff. And this is how they feel. They feel that they are not good enough. They have difficulty accepting compliments and praise. They just can't take credit for their own actual success and achievements because they're constantly comparing and competing, and they want to kind of better up, because of whatever reasons. They often considered perfectionists, and they have a constant fear of being exposed. What if the world finds out that they are just empty shells? They struggle with a fear of failure and they present themselves as hardworking and stuff. So, imposter syndrome is where people are kind of procrastinating as well. They're not doing much. But like I've already said, so these could be paid campaigns, TV, branding, an image that they present before you. And when you spend time and stuff, you figure out, ज़्यादा कुछ है नहीं किया नहीं है कुछ. So social media plays an important role in reinforcing this imposter syndrome, where people who look professionally and well established actually also are kind of feeling this thing that whenever they open up Facebook or Instagram, they're consistently thinking that how much is it that other people are doing and what they're doing themselves is so minuscule or less in front of those. Okay. So I think I shared this a few weeks back that I'm removing a few people. Partly, some of them I removed because obviously, Facebook has a limit of the number of people you can have to add more people and stuff. You know those people offline already. You have a good relationship. When you message them, you are in touch. Even if you don't meet them, you call them, they are there. I mean, your friends or professional acquaintances or whatever. And some people perpetually, I was like, they seem to be doing so much, but it's actually overwhelming me because I have my own journey. I've got my own stuff happening. I've got my own plan happening, and I flow and I remain flexible and stuff. So when I look at those people, I feel that my journey probably, or my outlook or approach to life, 20 people are doing it that way, so I should also be in that circle and I should also be doing the same thing. So I lose my own originality, and I lose my own thought process in the interim. This is what happens when you're kind of consistently looking at people. They've arrived, they've done a lot and stuff, and you're in awe of them and all that. But when you actually meet them and spend time with them, sometimes you just figure out, like I said, it's just a built up thingy. And sometimes it just disgusts you because the image is so amazing. And when you spend time with them and stuff, you realize, boss, you know what? I mean, they look amazing and stuff, but आप जब time spend करेंगे तो आपको पता चलेगा that they are not that incredible. And they could be veterans, they could be Gen Z, they could be people like you and me, they could be stars, they could be celebrities, they could be TV people, and they could be anybody and everybody around, you know. So in the world of social media and stuff, Rohan is kind of brought up this really good thingy that what do I do in such a case, you know. So the psychiatrist has given him this tip that, you know, you should remove people whom you don't feel very comfortable, you don't know them. Why would you have them on your social media? Why would you even want to know them? Because sometimes looking at those people can also provoke certain outlooks or outlooks or certain ways of thinking in you which are not even yours, you know. So many times it's happened, you know, like it happened, I'm sure it happens to you also, that you read something somewhere, and when you're going through a book and stuff, you constantly kind of recall, hey, I read that on that lady's page or that man's page and stuff, you know. So this is the way people affect you and stuff. So what's very important is to not disconnect yourself from your own journey and your own way forward. You can always take inspiration, but avoid, you know, thinking that people are doing far better than you, or people are far better off, because sometimes when you meet them, it may not be that great. And some of the great people and excellent people I know, I mean, there's so many people in my family, or you know, in my work journey, or in my personal life, they're not even on social media and stuff, but when you meet them, you feel far better than you would when you meet people online and stuff, you know. So the message is, I've been a little inactive on social media. I'm normally very active and stuff, but I'm just taking it because of whatever reasons. And I'd be thinking the same thing, that, you know, if I were to look at this book and ponder, I would definitely spend next 10 days or 15 days reworking on myself and kind of getting over people I don't enjoy, or people I'm not, very happy looking at and stuff. And then what happens is, thanks to social media, you've left people behind, but the point is, each time you look into social media, that memory comes back to you, and sometimes you're like, hey, you know what, हमने ये किया था, हमने वो किया था, and those people don't even live, or those people have moved on and stuff, but you're stuck in your head on that, you know. So my advice to people many a times is, come back to the year 2025 and do this thing about sorting out your social media, your LinkedIn pages and stuff. Are those people really very important? Are those people adding some value and meaning to you? Or are you, when you log into them, do you feel threatened by them? Do you feel as if they are competition, or do you learn from them? And are they helping you improvise? Are they helping you become better? Are you learning more about it? Or are they just, you know, kind of closing you down to how amazing the world is and stuff? Because sometimes there's so much of unhealthy and negative and sadness that you read, that you start associating with it and stuff, you know. So it's very important to also log into people, or be around people who show you the brighter side or the great side of life and stuff, you know. So try and read this book, you know, it's an interesting book, and it's addressing concerns which we face in the professional world, we face in the interpersonal relationships as well, we face it between families, we face it between people, industrialists who may be at war or something. The way it's presented, you know, it's the way it's presented, TV debates and unhealthy arguments and toxic shit and all that, you know. So people are constantly trying to present themselves in a manner which even the media wants them to do. But the point is, are you being original, and are you being your own self? And yes, you have to work on your personality, you have to improve and stuff, but it doesn't mean that you kind of get I would say carried away into a different world which you don't even know is real or not, you know. So she's also talked about people who look so amazing, but when they talk and they meet, they don't know that those people have overcome a family history of drugs, or violence, or how negative they've been through, the frustrations and stuff like that, you know. So a good tip as per this book in me, because I'm also in the real world, is avoid the real world. Take inspiration and everything, It's always a good idea to find people who voice similar thoughts and stuff, but it doesn't mean that you forget your original stuff and become an imposter. Yeah. So from my own experience, when I was not well and stuff and I had my neck cervical happening, it still happens to me. There were times when I was thinking about FOMO. My God, I'm here on medication and stuff, and I'm sitting here not doing much, and I'm sleeping, and I'm in and out of the hospital and all that. And look at the people, they're going forward doing so much. So there was this thing constantly in my head, FOMO. And then I realized, but do I really have FOMO? Do I have the fear of missing out? So I was questioning myself, and I was like, no, you know what? It's my own journey. What comes my own way is something which I'm kind of going to take care of and stuff, and I'm going to get back better. And a result of that was not doing the core work, but participation in various forums, doing a lot of behind the work scene and stuff, and kind of rising up in learning and unlearning, working on my health and stuff, kind of learning more about the world and stuff. So I didn't consider the 2.5 years of my break as, yeah, I'm left behind and stuff. I did whatever best I could. And I mean, when I kind of went back to my forums and stuff, I felt more confident, more welcomed and stuff. And yes, of course, there were realizations that sometimes you expect from people and stuff, and they don't stand there for you during sickness or health or whatever. So that's another realization, that professional acquaintances don't always mean friendships and stuff. So very important to have your own support system. Very important to kind of first take charge of yourself and stuff. And if you know something is getting you down, and something is um, uh, motivation is too small a word, but something is not making you feel good about certain people on social media or offline and stuff, trust your instincts and let go of it. Okay. So jkapani at gmail.com, justinkapani.im at gmail.com, and justinkapani office at gmail.com. Thank you for your likes, thank you for your personal messages, and thank you for your emails. Always a good idea to connect offline and meet in person and talk and stuff, because real people and adults talk. They meet up and talk. They don't spend their energy and time only on social media. Half the time those thoughts and those videos will keep taking space in your head and stuff, and somewhere or the other, you kind of also lose on your own original thought processes of creativity and expression and stuff like that, because somebody else's voice becomes yours. Okay. So love and luck, and take care and have fun and have a blast. See you and enjoy. Take good care of yourself, and cheers to you and me on a lovely, this is a nice dalchini chai. Try including little things like chai and coffee and healthy beverages like nimbu pani and stuff, because they also work on your emotional health and your overall health, which is really important. So love it up, can take care, have fun. Bye bye. Cheers.